Oilersnation After Dark begins now.
Another terrible start for the Edmonton Oilers, followed by a 40-minute comeback, I guess you could say, throughout it. I said it was a weird, to me, non-event game, which is weird to say when there's 7 total goals scored on the evening. The Oilers, they dug themselves out of a hole yet again, which is a theme this week. They erase a 2-goal deficit to the Chicago Blackhawks, and they leave the United Center with a W, which is all that matters at the end of the day, and they leave this 4-game roadie with a 1-0 record. Bang, we like that. Hello, what up, and welcome to Oilers Nation After Dark. I'm your host, Bordzy, joined by the man, Sean Panganiban. Bordzy and Pangsy. We can throw a Z on the end of that as well. Producer Brett behind the scenes as well. We were just rocking LMFAO's Party Rock Anthem because I said, Brett, you resemble the troop, I guess you could. There he is. There he is. What do you want me to say? Perfect delivery on that, Bert. ONAD is a presentation of Bet365. Download the app today. Use the code NATION to get in there. And whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 3 numbers. Hard to remember that many. Let's check in with the chat. Connor Brown is in, and he says, what, Brett? Cup year. It's a cup year. It's a W. Final buzzer. Damn it, Oil. Quit making the easy stuff look hard. Fair. Bella, yay for an Oilers W. I'm hoping they don't continue this whole sitting back in the first period thing going into next week, especially with the LA Kings in town on Monday. Jessica, well, thank God we survived that last minute. The reffing in this league is ridiculous. What a turn of events that was in the final minute. Going Yanni, go find a way to, which would have been his 2nd goal of the season. Neither of them against an actual goaltender, but he's robbed of that, getting his stick ripped out. Then Rico takes a high stick, and then all of a sudden we're sitting there like, holy shit, are the Oilers about to blow this one right now? Picks was huge. We'll touch on that. Matthew, Oilers own the Hawks, and then shout out to Justine. She has been red hot gambling. She sent me this. I saw this with my own eyes. Rico and Pod's goals hit plus 1,800, hit a Hyman goal plus 140, hit a Pod's anytime separately at plus 350. Clap it up. Woo! Clap it up, Justine.
What a night.
We are proud of you. And then she said, Becker's Bankroll. Her last name is Becker. So no, back off. I also went 3 for 3 this evening. Percy says, let me get this right. Woo! Way to claw back into that Oilers LFG. I know the mic just cut out for everyone at home. I hit my note there. Fighting Amish says, our pal Cal. Dalks, McDavid shutout on points again. Should we be worried? No.
Nope.
No, I don't think you ever should be. Final buzzer. Somebody text Bettman and ask him if they can make the games just a 2nd and 3rd period. Would be very interested to look into that. And then finally, we got some super chats, all in support of the Ben Stelter Foundation, cause very near and dear to everybody's hearts, and it's the one. She's been leading the charge from day one. Tammy's in. $25 says, for my man, Scory Perry, revenge game, revenge W. A win is a win is a win. Stick taps and hearts for Ben, always. Brett, final part there? Cup year. Sean is also in and says cup year. It's a cup year. Southpaw's in, says W's for Ben. Let's go, baby. And then Rusty, $5. Way to battle back, Edmonton. 3-1 on the roadie isn't too shabby. Cup year, baby. Brett, we went through the schedule at the beginning of the month. I said 3-1 on the stretch. I had them losing to Boston. I'll take it any way you want. It wasn't pretty this evening, that's for sure, but they found a way. And as we kind of touched our pangs, and Adam Henrique high stick made things a little way more interesting than they needed to be in the final minute of that one, not to mention the weird missed Janmark stick getting knocked out of his hands. But Calvin Pickard does not have the best game of his season. Don't know what it is about the Chicago Blackhawks. We can talk more later. But it's not how you start. It's how you finish for Picks. He was huge at the end of the game.
Yeah, in the pregame, I did mention that Calvin Pickard sometimes kind of looks like a beer league goalie sometimes, and the way he performed was kind of beer league-esque in the first period. He let in a couple bad goals, but in that last minute, we wrote this down here. What a last minute there for Calvin Pickard. With 43 seconds left, he made a big pad save. The save that he didn't make on the first goal, and then with 5 seconds left in the slot, made another big pad save, and he let in on the third goal, a slot shot. So you know what? He totally redeemed himself on that one.
Damn right. I love that reference. Pang's references are out of control. Everybody knows that. That's also a reference. Pickard has 19 saves on 22 shots for an .864. Doesn't look pretty on paper. And I'll be real with you. It was ugly to start that game, man. It was straight up awful for that one for Pick's. First goal was a save that he needs to make, right? The puck didn't even raise up off the ice. It stayed sliding. He's not aware, moving erratically. Like your friend had mentioned, beer league-esque. Calvin Pickard's a little bit better than that. I'm going to throw the word esque in there. And then the second one, even more brutal, right? Not being aware, puck coming around the end boards, and then not hugging your post, not being positionally sound in that way. It was a tough one. And then he was huge there at the end of the game. But the big storyline of this entire week, I guess, of Thursday, because the Oilers did dominate the Bruins. We got to give them credit. That was a 60-minute effort. The last two games, just completely delete the first period from your memories. Today's was a little bit better than the last one against the Penguins, but yet again, 2 straight games, the Edmonton Oilers, lackluster starts, to say the least. And yet again, they could not complete a pass, tape to tape, not coming even close to tape to tape. They just were not dialed in, really did struggle there in their own end, and felt like they didn't have much action around the Hawks net. They did end up by the end of the period leading them in shots 9-8, but the crazy part of this slow start for the Oilers, the Hawks were the team on the second half of a back-to-back with travel in between, I might add. They played in Detroit last night, hopped on the plane late, come back into Chi-Town. They didn't skate this morning, but they started this game way hungrier, way faster, and everything, and it's become a little bit of an issue here for the Edmonton Oilers. I noted on pre-gaming, when the Oilers score first, they're like 16-4-3, something like that. They get a stranglehold on that lead, and then they play their game. Yet again, the Edmonton Oilers not allowing just the first goal. They allow a second goal before the first ends. What's going on in the first 20 minutes, Panger?
You know what? It might just be that they are playing the Chicago Blackhawks. Maybe that they had that, hey, we got the Blackhawks on a back-to-back. Maybe they didn't put full steam on, or they didn't put their foot down on the gas to start, which it showed. They lacked execution. They couldn't string their passes together. Attention to detail. Couple giveaways. And it took the intermission for them to regroup, and they came out a little bit harder in the second.
Yeah, absolutely right. So you got to give them their credit. Much like the Pittsburgh game, next 40 minutes, uttered pretty close to domination, I can say. I mean, around there, maybe not as much today, but they just come in control of the game, and you're just sitting there beating your head against the wall going, why can't you do that for a full 60? Similar to the Pittsburgh one, maybe you looked in and said, the Oil coming in had won 6 of the last 7 against the Blackhawks, 3 straight in the United Center. Make it 4 now as well, but maybe that does get in your head. There's also the end of the road trip aspect on this, that empty the tank, empty the clip, get back home and regroup. But there's that little bit of worry in the back of my head. You got the LA Kings coming to town Monday night, a huge game for the Pacific Division. And if you start the way you have the last 2 games, say goodnight before it's over, because the Kings, they're different this season, I'll put it. They're not as much of that boring trap game style. They can score some goals, put the puck in the back of the net. That does have me a little bit nervous heading into LA, but the Oil should, I would hope, be more aware that the LA Kings is a team you cannot take lightly. Come on, they've played this team each of the last 3 years in the NHL playoffs. Doug Waite, these last 2 starts are so crappy. It's a nice way to put it. Maynard, it's a concern. You cannot start like that against the LA Kings. Couldn't say it better myself. But yet again, Panger, let's talk positively, because the next 40 minutes of this game, the Oilers outshoot the Hawks 25-14. Much similar to that Penguins game on Thursday night. Their effort improved as it went along, shots in their favor, puck possession totally in their favor. They started just rolling all 4 lines, and then you remember, oh yeah, the Chicago Blackhawks are dead last in the entire NHL. it's nice that they found the way to claw back. I'm not ever going to complain about a win, but this should have been a game the Oilers won. Brett, what did you predict?
7-1.
7-1. That might have been a little bit of wishful thinking, but a 1-goal game against the Hawks. Like I said, not complaining about a W, but it was way closer than it ever needed to be.
Yeah, it took an effort of the second line to really get things going. If you guys read my 3 stars of the week articles, I made a bold prediction that the line of, even though they were split up near the end, of Leon Draisaitl, Vasily Podkolzin, and Victor Arvidsson, I made a prediction saying that they're going to go on a hot streak like Draisaitl, Yamamoto, and Nugent Hopkins, and from like January 1st to like February 12th. They were like one of the best lines, and that's the line that got the party started for the Oilers. They had some good momentum, good ozone time, and the Oilers clawed their way back.
That second line just continues to be the best line, the most consistent line we've seen. Everything else get changed, which was weird why it got changed a little as this game went along, but before it was Arvidsson, Pods, Dry. They just do what they do. Pods gets his 5th of the season. Always nice to see the boy score some goals. Justine, I know, was looking for that one, but great play from Arvidsson to take it behind the net. He got drilled as well, ended up laying on his back in the corner when Pods is celebrating that goal. And then as the game goes along now, they take Vasily Podkolzin off of the second line, move some things around, throw Corey Perry on that second line, and wow, Corey Perry was totally fine, totally adequate. Felt strange to do that in a game where Vasily Podkolzin had a 2-point night. Doesn't happen very often for Podzilla this year. I made the point. Was this a revenge Corey Perry thing? Was Nobby giving him the nod of like, hey, let's go out there and get your goal against your former team? Maybe. What did you think of the move to take Pods off that second line?
It was initially puzzling, but then now that I think about it, I think it was more of a reward that Corey Perry scored. And so Knobloch, as you say, Nobby we trust.
Nobby we trust.
And Nobby we trust. And he moved up Corey Perry. And to be honest, Podkolzin got an assist on Henrique's goal there, so maybe that was the right move.
Yeah, how about when you look through here, dude? You got depth scoring from Podkolzin, Adam Henrique, Corey Perry, and then the Zach Hyman goal, of course. I think that cashed everybody's bets in this room. That was a fantastic moment for every one of us. The high fives, my hand still hurts from what we had going on. But Adam Henrique, he's been heating up a little bit more as of late, showing some offensive touch. Kind of been all over the lineup, right? You never know what you're going to get with Chris Knobloch. We have all the trust in the world. But as I always say, these depth charts are just recommendations because he's switching up everything throughout the game. That even applies to the D pairings as well. What have you thought of Adam Henrique's game lately? Because in the last week, he has more than doubled his goal total. Came into the week with 3 goals, leaves the week with 6 of them.
Absolutely. Adam Henrique had a slow start to the season. I think everybody here had a little bit concerns of, oh my gosh, did he get slower in the offseason? He looked a little bit slower, but he's playing probably his best stretch of games in the last little bit. And the one thing, even if he does have a little bit slower boots, he is very smart and good in and around the net. 2 games ago against Boston, scored in the slot twice. And just that veteran savvy in front of the net again to score tonight.
Another guy we loved, Kasperi Kapanen. Kasperi Cheeks Kapanen. Sorry, let me get that properly out there. But yeah, he got an a point tonight as well. I feel like everybody was getting a little bit involved. I also see some more super chats in here. Alex Sanford in, and he says, remember guys, choking is dangerous.
Right.
Read it as it is.
Shocking is dangerous.
Thank you. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is, but I appreciate the super chat. All in support to the Ben Stelter Foundation. Mr. Burns is in the chat and says he may want 1 or 2 back, but Picks made up for it like a boss in the final period for sure. Cup yeah. And then TB's in with $6.99. Nice. Says, come on, Oilers. That was a risky game. And dude, I agree with you. But it's the NHL. You'd be happy with the win, but you are concerned with the way these last 2 games have gone against scheduled W's. I'll just say it. They should be scheduled dubs against the Penguins and the Blackhawks. Furthering our point, Dulks agrees. Rico has a hot stick right now. And there's one guy that was out there on the ice tonight that had an incredibly hot stick coming into this. In fact, the hottest stick in the entire NHL. Connor Bedard was riding a 9-game point streak coming in. He's been tearing it up with his new head coach. Yet this evening, didn't really see a ton of Connor Bedard out there. Just looking at his stat line, zeros literally all across the board, -2 in 21 minutes and 24 seconds. Tough start to the season for Connor Bedard. Even he, I think, is putting more pressure on him than any media member could ever do. He's just one of those guys. Why I think he will be one of the greats. And he came into this one. He's had the Oilers number in previous games. Feels like he always scores. He scored earlier this season against the Oil. Last year, remember when he played the Oil, he scored like a minute into the game, dangled Matthias Ekholm. Feels like finally in this one, the Oilers got control of Bedard. What'd you think of his game? The point streak obviously snapped at 9 games.
I'm wondering if Connor Bedard's mom was in the building and the fact that Corey No, I'm just kidding. I'm just joking. I'm just kidding.
I was ready to shit my pants.
So red right
I was
now.
ready to shit my pants.
He was so
I'm just
scared.
kidding. You know what? He had a good game last night.
That was good. That was good.
He had a good game last
You
night.
just made Brett leave the room. Brett just walked out of the room.
He had a nice pass to Donato last night. And you know what? He's still a young kid. What is he, like 18, 19 years old on a back-to-back? You know, we talked in pregame. We thought he was going to have a big night, sitting on 99 career points. But it's one of those things. I mean, even the best players of the game have off nights.
Yep, the people in here, Pangs from downtown. Brett, give me a double bang. Pangs! Oh shit! The double bang pangs! The double bang pangs. Back on the rails. One thing we did notice that I really did enjoy, been something, and maybe like it's classic when we post clips of the show because you only get little segments of it. We posted one recently talking about the lack of response from the Oilers in a previous game. Straight face, boys. Walk in. And how the Edmonton Oilers lately, no, not even lately, kind of the entire season have had a little bit of a lack of response when things go down to their players, star players, goaltenders, you name it. Well, Victor Arvidsson took a shot in the back at the end of that second period, which A, tough shot to take. B, that man's back is very precious. Take good care of it. He's a little bit of a Band-Aid specifically with that back, so you don't like seeing that with Victor Arvidsson. Well, Darnell Nurse and Corey Perry didn't like seeing it either because they instantly get in the scrum. Corey Perry was all the way by the blue line because the camera was on him. He was locked in, rips his way down the ice to get in there, get in the scrum, talking to shit. Pangs. I don't want to blow it up too much, right? Because even in the last game, Stuart Skinner said, hey, Zadorov hit me. I didn't expect anyone to go out there. He wants to beat him on the scoreboard. I still have a little bit of the old school mentality of, hey, I don't care, you go do it. But if Skinner says it, then you follow it along. This one here, when you see Arvidsson in a very susceptible, injury-prone spot that he has, I loved seeing your two dogs, Corey Perry, Darnell Nurse, go at him immediately. What'd you think of that?
I want to even date back to the game before with Boston Bruins. Like I felt like the Bruins were just hitting the Oilers and they're just dropping like flies. I don't want to say there was lack of response, but kind of. No one really came in. The Zadorov thing, I think that weighed in on Darnell Nurse's mind. And he's like, I can't let this happen 3 games in a row. So, I mean, albeit I'll say Arvidsson was kind of tapping at the tendy there. I mean, maybe it was warranted, but it was good that they had that pack mentality. You don't need to go in and beat up a guy. You don't need to go in and take an unnecessary penalty. However, it was nice that Darnell Nurse came to his aid there.
And I believe it was coincidentals there. And same thing, right? I said to you when it happened, if that's Stuart Skinner and somebody's taking the extra shot that Arvidsson did, oh, you better believe I'm saying put your stick into his back right there. So I totally get it. It's the gamesmanship of the NHL. And tonight felt like the Edmonton Oilers were playing a little bit of that gamesmanship. There, the chat's being hilarious. We're going to keep on moving along. I was about to read that one and then decided, no, let's not do that. Let's go through the scoring summary. It's going to be a little different. We're having some technical difficulties, so I don't think the highlights are going to work this evening, but they're still brought to you, the scoring summary, by Greta Bar Yeg, my favorite spot in the entire city. Come on, it's the weekend. You got to keep the vibes rolling. Edmonton Oilers close out the roadie on a positive note. Go out and celebrate. Get down to Greta, play some awesome arcade games. Pounce on their weekly drink specials, and of course, enjoy their delicious and super underrated street food they got going down there at Greta Bar Yeg. So as I said, we don't have all the highlights. Brett, to be fair, did do all the work for it. We just have no explanation of what is kind of going on. Also, let me know if our connection's becoming a little wonky right now. Brett, are you seeing that too?
Yeah, I'm seeing that too. We'll figure it out.
By the way,
We'll
we
be
gonna
good.
power through. It's Saturday night, people, so I don't really need to go through every single one, but it's 15:01 into the game. The Oilers are down 2-0, right? The first one was a Kulak giveaway in his own end. The Hawks find a way to keep it in, ringing around Dickinson to Teravainen. He beat Calvin Pickard. We talked bangs. That's one I need from my boy Calvin Pickard to make that stop. That puck didn't even leave the ice.
Yeah, absolutely. We know Calvin Pickard to be pretty steady. I want to say that goal especially was kind of not Calvin Pickard-like, I'd say. I feel he should have had that, and yeah.
Then the next one didn't have you feeling good about where Pickard's game was at. The shot from the point hits the end boards, and then it bounces. Some teams play those bounces very well. Remember the old Joe Louis Arena? They had the super springy boards. Shout out Nick Lidstrom. He would take advantage of that all the time. Now, it's the Blackhawks. I don't think that was the intention there, but it comes off, ricochets off the end boards, comes right out front to one. I believe it was Nick Foligno, on that one. Yes. And he finds a way to bury that. Tough one from Calvin Pickard. It sucked that you had mentioned earlier the beer league thing. We do not think Calvin Pickard is a beer league goalie by any means, but sometimes he can be a little erratic, out of position, not reading the play. That one through and through. He wasn't hugging his post, wasn't tracking it behind him. Kind of a textbook thing you need to be doing. I'm no goaltending coach. Go with Dustin Schwartz. You don't come at me. You guys always go with Dustin Schwartz.
Whoa.
Tough one for Picks there. That was an ugly, unaware goal.
Yeah, and I think even Reese was mentioning, I think on that one, there was a Kulak giveaway on that one too, or a failed clear. So I think overall, yes, Pick should have definitely had that one, hug the post a little bit tighter. Again, I'm no goalie expert either, but also like a gratuitous bounce, but a failed clear that led to that goal.
And then 22 seconds into the second period, it's that second line. They find a way to get him rolling. Great pass, cross ice, entering the zone. Dry was cooking. Boots a moving. Also, we pointed out at one point, Dry had a super, super hard back check to his own end, lifted the stick, casually goes behind the net, breaks the pass back out. And we were like, I know it's a joke about the Selke sometimes, but goddamn, my boy is rolling in every asset of his game right now. On that goal, comes in with speed, cross-ice feed to Arvidsson. I love, and I think this is something that you can tie to. When he sat out for 15 games, he said he sat from the press box, watched things that maybe he was necessarily going too fast, needed to take the extra moment. Arvidsson right there in that moment decides to circle around behind the net, find Podkolzin right out in front, and he buries his 5th of the season. Awesome from the second line. Quick response for the Oilers to get back into that one, but I love it from Arvy. He took a shot there as well, spilled into the corner boards, and Pods gets his 5th of the year.
Beautiful goal all around. Again, the second line started by Draisaitl. The only thing that I didn't like about that goal was that didn't happen last game, because then Brett would be having a 92 right here on his chest. That's the only thing.
He was game late, baby. He was game late. He saw the tweet. I'm half convinced he saw the tweet and he was like, can't do it tonight. Can't really make some guy give him a career here. So that's I think he was holding out, because here's the reason why. I'm sorry I completely derailed this, but here's the reason why it happened yesterday. I was thinking, because Podkolzin scores in bunches, I was going, you know what? This is the streak. This is the start of the streak. He's going to score a couple here, starting tonight. Not starting tonight, but continuing tonight, which was the Penguins game. And then obviously that didn't happen. And now he scores again. Guess what? He just skipped the beat in that second game, and he's going to score again in the next game. You watch. And then he'll go back on his little thing. But yeah, no, that's 100% why.
I want the chat to hold us to it. So we'll say Brett and I have come up with an idea for a bet that may or may not involve some ink, and I think we're going to drop that bet on Monday's pregaming against the LA Kings. So be sure to tune into pregaming, because I think we go and get a little bit crazy on this show. And we'll see what we can do. Bring a tattoo artist down to Greta, I said as well.
Yeah, live show.
Get it all done while I'm doing pregame and get tatted. That could be pretty fun. So tune in Monday's pregame, and we got some stuff for you as well. Also, Brett, for the love of God, put Doug Waite in the timeout. That is the award for the most egregious, horniest thing you've ever said in the chat.
I should see it first, but yes.
That is Doug Waite. There's the line. Way over, brother. We got to pull that back a little bit. Continue. There it is. Brett read it. There it is. So keep moving past that. 3-1 Hawks. Connor Brown in his own end. So he turned the puck over in the neutral zone. Then he got the puck again in the defensive zone after like 30 seconds of possession from the Hawks. He then turned it over again in his own defensive zone. Maroon ends up setting up Ryan Donato right in front of the net. Tough one to blame on Picks. I do think he read it a little wrong, but dude is wide open in front of the net. What are you going to do? And then the Edmonton Oilers comeback was on, my brother. It's Adam Henrique's 6th of the year from Pods anti-Emberson. He enters the zone, puck goes the blue line with Emberson, blasted on net. And I loved it from Rico. He entered the zone with pretty big speed, tossed it over to Emby. No fucking around from Rico. Go straight to the hoop, straight to the net. You know where the puck's going. Bang, a beautiful redirection. That's just a veteran goal. That's a veteran savvy goal right there. That's beauty.
And Adam Henrique is heating up at just the right time. Yeah, second half of the season, down the stretch, he's such an important piece on this Oilers team. And in tight-knit games in the playoffs, that's where your Adam Henrique is going to shine. That's why we picked him up as our third-line center. And like you said, the veteran savvy came through.
Somebody in here chirped and said, I don't know if this is your buddy. If Pickard is beer league, how many dips below would Pangs be played? Just for reading that, I was like, that has to be your buddy.
That is my buddy who said the beer league thing. Yeah.
Suck it, Pangs. All right, there we go. 3-3. Corey Perry, 7th of the year. What a goal-scoring season for a guy who's on the 4th line, been out of the lineup, playing single-digit minutes, 10, 11 minutes at times. 7 goals, pretty good, and he gets his revenge goal assisted from Kasperi Kapanen. It was a weirder one. Hawks had possession in their own end in the corner, kind of just squirted out front to Corey Perry. I think it was Kapanen who found a way to get the puck to him, and he had a lot of time and a lot of space. And, hey, boots may slow down. Your hands, I don't know about that because he's still been tucking goals all year, 7th of the season. Big one, revenge angle for Corey Perry. Also a huge goal in the game to tie it up. Thoughts on that? Perry's 7th.
You know, Corey Perry, what a signing. What a signing. What is he making? Like $1.5 million, something like that. Corey Perry, probably best gamesmanship on the Oilers. He knows when he needs to stir things up and drop the gloves with Trent Frederick. In this moment, he knew that, hey, I don't know if there's a better person in and around the net. You know, you maybe Dry, Hyman, McDavid, and then you probably have Corey Perry, and he made no mistake and ripped that one home.
He's just, they say it, we made clips on it. This summer, I was not pleased to sign Corey Perry at the money we did. I still like a little bit less money, but 7 goals on the 4th line, dude. I am more than okay with that. And then it's the 3rd period. It's the man who cashed all of our bets, Zachary Martin Hyman's 14th of the season. Power play goal assisted by Evan Bouchard and Leon Draisaitl. Shot from the point comes in. And like you just said, where is ZMH? Stapled right in that blue paint, battles for the rebound, finds a way to turn his body quickly, pounces on it, scores the goal. They gave us a tiny scare on the broadcast that they were like, oh, where was he in the blue paint? And we had already high-fived, boys. I can't take back high fives that were that hard. And we all stopped silence. You're like, holy shit, is it about to call it back? Then they drop the puck. We are rocking and rolling. Zach, he keeps scoring goals. I mean, he's taken what? He had gone 7 without.
Right.
Shout out to our intern Reese here. We gave him one bet today again to make. He said Zach Hyman power play point. Was it at plus 200? 215?
Plus 205.
Plus 205. So good, Reese. 2 for 2 so far.
You 3 for 3 because he also hammered again the Bush shot prop.
Boys are up. I want you to get the word out, but the boys are up tonight. We are feeling very good. Oh, shit, here we go again. And the Edmonton Oilers, that would do it. It was a scare there at the end of the game. Janmark gets the stick knocked out of his hands. No call. Seconds later, Rico, high sticks, gets a call. And boy, oh boy, Calvin Pickard did what he needed to do at the end of that game. I always say with picks, you can throw your fancy stats, your analytics, expected goals. What am I going to say?
Nerd stats.
The only thing that matters for a backup goalie specifically, the W's, the first category that it is. And now I believe 10-4-0 on the season for Calvin Pickard. My pal Cal, great work from him. Let's go now to the good, the bad, and the oily, brought to you by Oodle noodle. Boys, we didn't order oodle noodle tonight. You know what? That is on me. Reese, I still haven't given you an experience where we order oodle noodle
Shocker.
during the game. What was that, Brett?
Shocker.
What was that?
It's always me.
Either way, Oodle Noodle, one of our favorite spots in the city. Our fearless leader, Jay Downton. Shout out to him. My favorite right now, Brett, is the 1,000-year flavor. I never really had that one before. I don't really know what it is. But it's got a
Unreal.
lot of flavor. I'll tell you that. It's got 1,000 years of flavor built into it. Fantastic. Go into all of their Edmonton locations. They normally have some cool raffles, prizes, stuff going on. Not sure right now, but they got Oilersnation stickers in every single venue they got. So you can get some of those, throw them on your laptop, throw them on your toolbox, throw them wherever your heart at. I have so many Oilersnation stickers. I just give them out like candy. I keep them in my wallet. I'm like, here you go, here you go, here you go. That's what you should be doing. Throw in if you got anything you think for good, bad, or Eiley. And Bert, hit it for me, brother. The good is the fight back, right? Guess what the bad's going to be? I assume you could imagine in this, but they found a way to claw back in this. It's another game. It's another comeback. We're blessed that the Edmonton Oilers can be down in games, that we are so confident that they're going to find a way back. Brett, did you not live bet the comeback this game?
Absolutely.
Like, you just know that it's going to happen more often than not. You wish they wouldn't dig the early holes that they do, but it's a quality they have had for years. Down, but never out. You find a way, and like they've been find a way to get past good goaltenders before in these situations. Classic down, but never out. Oilers, they scratched, they clawed, they fought all the way back.
This Edmonton Oilers team is a Stanley Cup contender. For me, when they get down in the first period, I don't actually really worry.
I check Bet365 every time. I'm not sure.
What are the odds there? When they're playing these teams, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Pittsburgh Penguins, those are teams that sometimes it is a little bit hard to wake up for. I get it. I'd expect the Oilers against the LA Kings to come out from the drop of the puck, but they're a resilient bunch. They know how to score. They know what to do to get themselves back into the game.
And right, when you've had the core group of this team together for the amount of years they have, don't want to remind you, they were down 3-0 in the Stanley Cup Finals, and they found a way to claw back from that. It is a quality they've got. They got the clutch genes. Zach Hyman's one of them. You just wish maybe you get the full 60. But once again, highly entertaining Saturday night game for the Edmonton Oilers, the overcash, and they get the W. Kiana says the comeback kids again. And Samson was not expecting the Oilers to win this game tonight. I did. I'm always going to believe in my boys. Also, Doug, wait, you better mean it, brother. He says, all behave. Let's rein it in, brother. The horniest one in the chat all the time. Like, all right, we'll just move past.
I respect it.
With the good comes the bad. Obviously, with this, we went with the first period. Fun fact, didn't change a single thing from the last game. This was the bad in the last game. Not even a character change, not a shift, not anything. Because yet again, the Edmonton Oilers facing a 2-0 deficit to a team that they own, a team that they have dominated and have a great track record against, and a team that I mentioned played the night previous in Detroit, second half of a back-to-back with travel in between all of that. It was weird. I mentioned they couldn't complete a pass. The same thing that happened in Pittsburgh. It was all in the Oilers' end in the Pittsburgh game where I was, brother, just tape to tape, try a 6-foot pass. Similar to that to start this one. Obviously got better as the game went along, but through and through, I don't think, at first I was thinking putting Calvin Pickard for the bad. And then at the end of the game, he, as you said,
Totally redeemed himself.
so the bad we go with tonight is the first period. It was bad.
It was terrible. Again, they couldn't string any passes together. But yeah, I mean, they pulled through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bang. Oily. Hit it for me, Bert, here. We went with the end of the roadie 4-game road trip. The Oilers go 3-1 and on that. Brett, you want to throw me up some orange W's? We got any orange W's in this bitch? Yeah. Oh, there it is. Cup year.
Can I do this?
You got to bark. Reese, give me a bark. There we go. Dogs be out. So 4-1. Can't do math. 4 and can't read, I guess. 4-1 so far to start January. Obviously, brutal one on Pittsburgh. It was the first time the Oilers had lost in January in a substantial amount of time. They come back, similar shitty effort, but they found a way to get the win. And as I said, you tell me 3-1-0 before this road trip, you're going to take that, right?
Absolutely, all day long. Good teams lose, right? They're going to lose, and they're going to have stinkers every now and then. The Pittsburgh Penguins game was a stinker.
Now we could actually, no, I'll save it for later. I want to go through the next week because, boys, buckle up. The Edmonton Oilers got some stiff competition in the next week and a half, 2 weeks upcoming, and that'll do it for the good, the bad, and the oily, brought to you by Oodle Noodle. And now, people, it's time for your booms and your doom performers of the evening, brought to you by Odd Company Nation Beer. They're all behind Panger's Head there. Just a beautiful, crisp, clean lager from Odd Company. 2 locations in the Edmonton area, downtown Ritchie as well, I believe. And then, as I always say, check liquorconnect.com for literally anything, dude. I didn't discover that this website existed until Odd Company came on. You can find whatever you want all over the city, track it down. Also, I have mentioned you can buy kegs of this bad boy. You will locate them on liquorconnect.com, or you can also get them at Odd Company, obviously. We got enough flats back here that I think will be okay for a substantial amount of time. Throw in your booms, throw in your dooms. I am a gentleman. Start it off for me, Panger.
Boom.
Don't you dare take my guy.
I'm not. I will give the boom to Corey Perry.
Yeah.
As mentioned, he is the master of gamesmanship. If the Oilers need to change momentum, he'll drop the gloves with someone. If he needs to mix it up, get a dirty, stinky glove in someone's face, he'll try to do that as well. And as mentioned, by the goal line, I don't know if there's anybody better than him. Maybe a couple people, but Corey Perry tied the game. He is my boom for the night.
Brett, what do you got over there?
My boom is
A little bit
make
more.
eye
Come on, a
contact.
little bit more.
My boom
Thank you.
is, look at me when I say this because I don't want to take yours, Vasily Podkolzin. I didn't know what yours was.
Yeah.
I've absolutely gloated on this guy all year. But again, just a multi-point night that I think that he's deserved for a while now. A great goal to get the Oil back into the game. Hard-working goal. That's the identity of that line, and that's what eventually led to their goal as well. And getting onto the score sheet again with the assists as well is just... you're going to see little things from Podkolzin that end up with him being on the score sheet eventually throughout the rest of the year. And by the end of the year, you're going to sit there at his tally and go, oh, whoa, wow, okay, I didn't think he was able to do that. So this is just one of those games where he's able to cement himself as that type of player. Loved what he was able to do tonight and help the Oilers. Even when he was knocked down off that second line, he worked really well with that third line, worked really well with that fourth line. He fits in really well. He does a little bit of everything, Swiss Army knife, and he got on the board twice. 2 days after I said I'd get a hand tattoo if he did the same thing. So appreciate it. Happy that didn't,
by that much, brother.
Happy it didn't circulate in the locker room there.
And I like the point you made there about Pods, about whatever line he's on. There is zero ego with Vasily Podkolzin.
No.
None. That's one of the benefits of not being one of these Western soft boys out here like yours truly over here. He's hard. He's from Mother Russia.
He's what?
Mother Russia.
Pause.
Okay, let's keep going here. I got booms. Boom, Zachary Martin Hyman. Boom, second liners. This wasn't mine, but I totally agree with Minecraft. I may be crazy, but I give my boom to Bouchard, or Boomchard, as Mackay and Dry put here. I also thought Evan Bouchard had a very good game throughout this one. Has an assist, 23-42 time on ice, blocks some shots. I also made a point to you guys that sounds crazy when you say it, but when you've seen enough games this year, you know I'm making sense. Evan Bouchard defends 2-on-1s and breakaways at a very, very good rate, very good level. I'm not going to say the word elite here, but yet again, I forget who it was on a breakaway 1-on-1. You actually saw Evan Bouchard skate incredibly hard, gets himself into a good position, stick battle, wins the battle, not even a shot on goal, anything. And we were looking around the room like, let's go. And we've noticed it a lot on 2-on-1 specifically. Boosh, hockey IQ, we know he's got it. He's lays down at the perfect points. I thought he had a solid one. Obviously, hit our boy shot prop over here. So you got to be happy about that. Mr. Burns also said, boom, goal per line. Yeah, I guess technically, Pod second line, Perry fourth line, Rico third, Hyman first line. Yep. Shout out to that. My boom that I'm giving out this evening is Ty Emerson. I thought he had a fantastic game in this one. We noted him on pre-gaming that I'd like to see him get a couple more minutes, maybe some second line shifts here and there, and he played 15 minutes tonight. He got an assist as well on the score sheet. He's playing physical. He noted pre-game in an interview talking about, I got to wait for my moments, and when there's not a play to be made, sit back and just make the smart play, which is awesome for a guy that just played game number 70 of his NHL career. I thought Emerson was great. 15 minutes. His ice time's starting to go up and up a little bit more into the game. PK situations. He's on the ice a fair amount of the time. Emerson, you got the boom, brother. Now, if we've got dooms as well, throw them in the chat. Panger, I'll let you go. Some people saying the refs.
The doom, I don't know which Blackhawk it was, but the one that hooked Janmark's stick at the end there. I mean, is that legal? Was that legal?
We said we didn't know the rule, so I don't know what it is. But then I think on the broadcast they were like that could be credited as a goal in some way, but I don't know if it was like a clear breakaway.
Well, yeah, that's kind of the issue, which is why. Yeah, exactly. So like, yes, he probably would have beat him with his stick and got there and scored, but how can you dictate that from his blue line? So that's fair. The rule would have been that it would have been a goal since it was an empty net, but yeah, it's weird. It was weird. Bad call, bad non-call though. Also, it could still be called interference, and then Edmonton still have the power play.
And then seconds later, it goes the complete opposite way. Quick 180, and you're like, holy shit, boys, what's about to happen? Justine said, this is the most outrageous the chat has been all year.
Yeah, this is
I'm really getting that vibe right now. No, we love it.
Saturday night.
Also, Dog said, boom, Pang's jokes. Pick a beer league goalie and the Barry joke. You're on fire. Also, Mackay and Dry said Emerson too for the boom for the boom. Brett, you got any dooms?
I don't really.
Yeah, I know. I don't really have it.
It's kind of a cop out, but no, not really. I know it's not the game that we all thought it would be with Chicago, Edmonton, whatever, but I don't care. It's end of the roadie. We already mentioned, go home, go sleep in your own bed. You've just been in 6 timelines. I don't know what
time
it actually
zones.
is. Time zones, timelines. I'm sticking with timelines. Don't take my words out of my mouth. No doom for me. I know it wasn't the put away game that I wanted, the 7-1 game that we wanted, but that's fine. Whatever. Go home, sleep in your bed, regroup, come to practice the next day, and bounce back, but go and win against who do we have on Monday? LA. There we go. So big divisional game. Get ready, and no doom for me.
You're not ready for a tattoo bet on Monday. You don't even know who we're playing, brother. Let's go. Everybody in here, I got a hard time for dooms as well. I mean, like, you had to pick an Oiler. Like, it'd be like Derek Ryan, he played 8 minutes, but I don't think he played bad in any degree of that point. Brett Kulak, maybe I could give a doom to, which is hard to say when I have my autograph Brett Kulak thing right there below me. I was showing off before the game, but he had a very rough start. Those first 2 goals, Kulak did not look very good. I thought it got better as the game went along, but in complete transparency, Brett Kulak probably, if I had to pick someone, he gets my doom. Or Bordzy. We'll go with Bordzy. Bordzy gets the doom. 9-game point streak ends, had zeros literally all across his box score. Yes, Brett?
It's always a cop-out. It was one of those games, boring games-ish, where Pangs was the refs and yours was another team's player. It's bad where we're just like
grasping at straws.
One of them games, baby. End of the roadie. Let's go home.
Let's go. You know where else we go now? It's time to gloat, people. Let's check out Bet365. Let's talk some bets and Bordzy's Bankroll. Brought to you by Bet365, proud partner of Oilersnation After Dark. Open an account with them today. And you can bet on a huge range of markets. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app today and use the promo code NATION to receive some benefits. Bert, hit it for me, dog. Zach Hyman, needed 4 shots on goal at plus 145. Ka-ching! The man ends with 4 shots on goal, which the last one cashed the third bet, cashed the second. It was all a beautiful moment right there. The second option, a Arvidsson 1+ points. I liked it. That second line I knew before. They've been tearing it up recently. If you're going to give me one of them plus money, a little bit above plus 105 for RV, I would take it. He also had 3 points in his last 4 games. Ka-ching on that one as well. And then the boy, Zach Hyman, the game winner. You knew it. Now, it was on the power play, but he was reunited with McDavid on the top line. You just felt good about his chances tonight, as that is 3 for 3 for the boards, man, right there. Bet them all separate, parlayed them all together. But frankly, I was not the only one in this chat that benefited from the Oilers this evening. Also, shout out Cha-ching. Easy money. Bordzy Bankroll, bet responsibly. Only bet what you can afford. Z took the words right out of my mouth. Bet responsibly. Only bet what you're willing to lose. That's a Bordzy sweep right there as well. Justine says you can keep your bankroll. Thank God. I like it. They want check marks on the billboard. Z, we'll get that next time.
Sorry.
Bert, you made a daddy long leg spider, right?
Yes. And
6 legs.
Yeah,
For those
6
who don't
legs.
know at home. Take a
legs.
biology class.
6 legs, and he's walking home with half of his legs as well. Had the money line, did not. Wow, sorry, excuse me. Absolutely hit. RV points, bang,
Bang.
dry goal.
Womp, womp,
Womp,
womp.
womp. Boosh over 2.5 shots, which
Bang.
me and Reese turned to me and he's like, that's the third one. We were like, yes, let's go.
We
So-
told Reese today during it that his job was to track our bets and let us know when things were happening that were slowly going. Did a bang up job, Reese.
Yes. Oh, yeah. He's what, 4 for 4 now.
That's on fire.
Darnell, over 1.5 block shots, only had 1. Soft. And picks, you saw me at the end here. I had over 20.5 saves. I was hammering in the last 40 seconds. That scramble. That was a shot. That scramble at the end, I was hammering them to count those shots. Did not count it. Don't know why. It bounced off whoever it was, Pat Maroon. I think we need a recount. Recount, stop the count whenever you get to over 20. Yes, no, I only walking away with half of it. Some sick, demented kid got a hold of this daddy long legs in the basement.
Had the magnifying glass on him, burning him with the sun.
Yeah.
Shout out to Reese as well. Hit Zach Hyman. Power play points. We're getting wild today. I'm also loving the chat. I love this. Check marks across the bill, Bordzy. Don't drink too much, Bordzy. Don't want to wake up on the floor, Z.
Yeah.
Bet responsibly. Don't want to be sleeping on the cardboard, Z. Chat is extra fun tonight. McKindra had another one, but no, we're not going to go there because we do bet responsibly. We only bet what we are willing to lose. Finally, let me squeeze another one in here for our friends at Booster Juice, because Booster Juice is the proud puck partner for the Jasper Pond Hockey Tournament, January 23rd to 25th on Lake Mildred. Oilersnation is powered by Booster Juice. Visit a location to refuel, refresh, and re-energize, or download their new Booster Rewards app to earn, order, and enjoy. Panger, I trust your opinion. What's your favorite Booster Juice flavor? What do you go with?
My mind is going with the acronym of the name, but I won't do it. BJ.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
A good booster juice is always a good thing. I like the mango. They got like a mango, something mango bananas or like.
Is it like a hurricane? I'm
Yes.
a strawberry sun. I think it's mango
Yeah,
hurricane.
yeah.
Strawberry sunshine. Let me know in the chat what your go-to is.
Matcha monsoon.
See, I'm not a matcha guy.
Oh, I clear matcha monsoons like it's no tomorrow,
Buddy,
dude.
I line them up, unlock them down.
Oh, it's they give me the snack sizes. They're like, oh my God, go home.
Yeah, what booster do you put in there?
Energy. Always go energy.
Yeah, I think
'cause
I'm always
a
energy. I think
sleepy
more
boy.
protein, but-
But it's because it tastes like green tea. It's basically green tea. So I love green tea.
A little
Chunk-
matcha.
Chunky
Little
Monkey,
matcha.
love matcha, show me Morsey. Just this
is
I love you guys.
outrageous.
I love you guys through and through. For this, Bert, you want to pull up the schedule up again for me here? Because this is a look ahead. The LA Kings on Monday. the Minnesota Wild on Wednesday on the road. Then the Avs on Thursday on the road. The Canucks on the road on Saturday. Then the Capitals back home Tuesday, followed by the Canucks at home on Thursday. That is a hell of a 6-gamer that you're going to have to endure. We just saw the Edmonton Oilers go through a bit of, I called it the gauntlet in December there. It was Tampa, Florida, Minnesota, Vegas, lining them up, knocking them down. Here, this is going to be tough. It's been noted they're in multiple time zones on this trip as well. Back home for one game against a huge one against LA, and then bang, you're rolling 2 big games against the Canucks. The Oilers, I think, came into this one 7 points up on the Vancouver Canucks. You got 2 games right here that have a 4-point swing in both of them. This is a big week for the Edmonton Oilers. Big week and a half, I should say. You're 2 weeks. Panger, this is going to be a difficult stretch.
Taking a look at that, I was on the show before they went on that gauntlet. They played that gauntlet there, and I said that's going to bring out the best of the Edmonton Oilers. Taking a look at this is going to bring out the best of them as well. Connor McDavid, another rare night going pointless. I'm almost guaranteeing he's coming out with a 2-3-point night against the Kings. He's coming out hot. He set the tone early in the first game against the LA Kings on Monday.
Yeah, all right. Let's quickly predict the Edmonton Oilers record in those next 6 games. Are they winning or losing? Let's go around the room here. Are they winning? They're beating the LA Kings, right?
They're beating.
We're not predicting anything but that. They're going to lose one of those games to Mini or Colorado, I believe.
I would say because they spanked the Wild. I think it was 7-1, 7-2 last time. The Wild are going to be hungry.
Okay, so I'll go 2-1 in those first 3 games. Brett, you down with that?
Yep.
Then you hit the Vancouver Canucks. I'm going to say they split the Canucks home and away. So, and then the Washington Capitals. Capitals are sneaky good this year, dude.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I'm going win. I'm going 4-2. They're going to beat the Capitals. They're going to lose 1 to Colorado or Mini and 1 of the Vancouver games as well. Let me know in the chat how you think the Edmonton Oilers will be doing Minecraft. Awfully optimistic. Says we sweeping boys. That would be sick. It could be the start or the continuation. Maybe we'll get a 16-game heater. Solve all my problems. Brett, we can drop the shirts again. It was quite the time last season. We had one that came out and said, an 8-game heater would solve all my problems or something like that. We just said it on the show. Then they had an 8-game heater. So we dropped the shirt. Then they had a 16-game heater. And we were like, well, dropped another one. If they go on a 16-game heater, could really solve all my problems. I'll just take a 5-game win streak, a 4-game, right? We don't need to do this all in one. Jeremy says 6 Ordzy, LFG, 6-0 Ordzy is what he tried to put there. You guys are being awfully creative this evening as well. Final one more for you. And it's a new partner we've got here. We had it on ONE and now Oilers Nation After Dark. It's an ad for the Edmonton Police Service, people, because we want to remind you to curb the danger. Report an impaired driver by calling 911. If you suspect a driver is impaired by drugs or alcohol, call 911 immediately. You'll be asked to report the last direction of travel, vehicle description, and plate number. If possible, keep the vehicle in sight. Do not attempt to ever chase the vehicle or break the law to do so. This is a good partnership we got going on with them right now. Yaremchuk got to do something that is super, super cool. You got to do a little bit of a ride along, per se, you could say, with the EPS. There's a video that will be coming out. It was very cool. I got to see all the photos. Tyler Yaremchuk does not look very badass in many moments. Guy looked like an absolute stud wearing that bulletproof vest. Nice. Be smart out there, people. I said it a lot during the holiday season. It still applies. It applies year round. And especially, roads are terrible out there. Do not be driving. Be taking Ubers. During the NHL playoffs, my Uber bill was egregious. Just absolutely egregious because I'm going all the way back to Sherwood Park and I still like to have a fun time. There's also plenty of options for getting home safe. Have you ever done the thing where you can call a cab company and they'll not only pick you up, but they'll bring a driver to drive your car and bring it home? No. Fantastic. I've done it before. You just double the rate and then you sit in shotgun of your own car with buddy and you're just manning the speaker. You're just like, never sat in shotgun before. It's pretty cool. Shout out to the EPS. Be smart out there, people. And then one more, if you want to have a fun time, Panger was looking it up a lot during this game. We're headed to Viva Las Vegas for the Nation Vacation presented by Flair Airlines, March 30th to April 2nd. Visit nationgear.ca for more details. We looked up photos of the Stella Artois Lounge. My Lord,
Holy
people.
moly.
Oh my
Bougie.
God.
Bougie looks fun. I feel like we're going to stick out like a sore thumb up there. Me, especially. Brett, we're loud gentlemen up there. It's nice. It's fancy. It looks like a hell of a time. We have flight options. We have non-flight options. We also, I believe, have an option where you can just watch the game with us if you want to cover everything else. Banger, you were looking at all kinds of options. Doug, wait. Remind me if you work for WestJet or not. Re-DM me again because we might have to be thinking about some things. Come on, the Nation Vacation, Panger. You looked into it a little bit more during this. You thinking about it?
Yes, 100%. And one thing that I'm really kind of excited about is that the Edmonton Police Service probably won't be there because they got unlimited booze. Yeah, no, it sounds like a great time. I'm definitely looking into it.
Not their jurisdiction.
I think we'll be okay. Tyler will still pull out his badge. Come on the vacation. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. Gentlemen, is there anything else we have not hit on this evening? It feels weird. Saturday, 8:45, and we're done this.
Yes, there is. Oh, hello. Whoa, hello. There is one thing that we didn't touch on, and it wasn't something that happened in the Oilers game tonight.
Ooh, good call.
But it was something that happened in the Flyers and the Ducks game tonight. Bordzy, there was a return of sorts for a player who has never played for the Philadelphia Flyers.
I respect the shit out of Philadelphia
I love
sports
this.
fans, man. They called Philly scumbags for a reason. I think that's a term of endearment, frankly, when you're a sports fan. Because, hey, if you've ever seen, like, opposition fans coming into the Lincoln Financial Field for Eagles games, it's insane what people say to them and what they do to them. But it was Cutter Gauthiers' return to Philadelphia, or first game in Philadelphia, I could say. And we hear a chance of, I'm allowed to say it, fuck you, Cutter. Fuck yeah. So shout out to the Philly fans out there. We heard that people were bringing in signs. Ushers were taking signs away as well. Just a thing of beauty. Respect it from those Philly scumbags.
My favorite part of it was before his first shift, they were also chanting, "We want Cutter," just like knowing as soon as he gets onto the ice, he's going to hear it. And we got in a conversation afterwards. Yeah, exactly. As soon as it's amazing. And we got into the conversation of like soccer and like fans and like really getting into it. I was watching Chelsea and Morecambe play today. And
who?
Yeah, I rest
The
my
second
case.
one.
We'll ask Liam. But they said that all the fans were chanting or like singing. I forget who it was. I don't know who it was, but get out of our club. Get out of our club. You're an embarrassment. You get out of our club. To one of their players. It is incredible. I love that type of stuff. And the fact that they were like coordinated enough to be like, we're coming for you, Cutter. We want Cutter, I think is insane. I love it.
The creativity, right, of going in like, hey, and even like the thing you said there, those soccer fans, you boo your own players sometimes. To chirp your own players with that chant, as a player, you're like, they really thought this one out. Tough look for your boy here. Speaking of good looks, though, final note before we head out, I love this from Calvin Pickard postgame. He said, and I quote, "I think it's safe to say the goalie was no good there for a while. I didn't like the way I started at all. 2-0. I was a little bit dopey, and there's no excuse for that." Fuck yeah, man. Brett, What do we say? Hand up, accountability.
Hand up.
Hand up.
Hey,
up.
that's on me.
We're not all going to be perfect, but you got to respect the accountability there of, hey, you got the W, you made the big saves at the end of the game, and you got to imagine he'll be hungrier. Also, why is Pickard bad against the Blackhawks? Doesn't make a ton of sense to me. But either way, the Edmonton Oilers caught the dub this evening. Big shouts out to everybody in this chat. Extra hilarious today, extra spicy, and in Doug Waite's case, extra horny. Brett, big shouts out to you behind the scenes, Panger, Reese, hanging out with us, and of course, our lovely, lovely sponsors, Greta Bar, Yeg, Oodle Noodle, Odd Company Brewing, Bet365, Booster Juice. Do not drink and drive. Come on the nation vacation. And yeah, I do believe that is it. Also, big thank you for all your super chat donations to the Ben Stelter Foundation. We'll be live back on this ON YouTube channel Monday, 12:01 Mountain Standard Time for Oilers Nation every day. And we got a game that night, a big one. Pacific Division standings here on the line. Oilers take on the LA Kings. I'll get you set for that one pre-gaming with my boy Brett, my boy Zach Lang, and Brett and I might have a little something for you all out there. Woo! All right, I love you all. Peace out. Sleep tight. Brett, hold on. Final last one. What are the games tomorrow for football? What's the morning game?
Good question. I don't know. Oh, yeah, you didn't tell me your bet.
Yeah, because I bet them all separately, but just bear with me here
Bills.
for a moment here, people.
Bills.
Broncos, Bills.
Yeah.
Bills money line, right?
Yep.
Eagles, Packers.
Eagles.
I'm all Eagles. I think the Eagles could take the NFC.
You're going to ask me if I was going to pick the Packers in a playoff game?
Yeah, it's a good call. The
Thank
only
you.
next one is total toss-up to me. Commanders, Bucks. I did the Commanders.
Commanders have been cold down the stretch, though. Bucks have been pretty decent.
And the Bucks already beat the Commanders this season.
It is a coin flip. I can see.
Rookie quarterback against clutch-ass Baker Mayfield.
I can see.
I kind of regret my pick.
You know what? Taking Bucks. Don't want to do it. Taking Bucks.
Cash out, Bordzy. Cash out now. Final Vikings, Rams. I've been on the Vikings train all season. I think everybody just has this image of the Vikings getting pumped in the last game of the Lions and are forgetting the fact they won 14 games this season and had an incredible year. Sam Darnold is good. But Brett, I predicted a solid Sam Darnold regular season. Never said shit about the NFL playoffs because this is his first time doing it. Rams, Super Bowl winning quarterback in Stafford. Vikings, you got Sam Darnold. He's been seeing ghosts before out on the NFL field.
Yep.
Who wins that game?
Rams. Vikings have been cold recently as well down the stretch. Not the time you want to get cold. You mentioned already with Darnold. I don't think he's not as good as you mentioned, the Super Bowl winning championship or caliber type team in the Rams. A lot also external stuff going on with the Rams as well. So I think I'm taking Rams here.
See, you said they've been cold lately. They literally lost to the Lions and won 9 straight games before that.
Did they?
Vikings.
The Vikings,
I'm looking at
really?
it right here. Packers, Seahawks, Bears,
But they were
Falcons,
in
Cardinals,
tight
Bears.
games, though.
Win is a win is a win.
Yeah,
brother.
no,
Win is a win is a
100%.
win.
100%.
But, yeah,
I agree.
People, keep it locked. Football. Use Bet365 to hammer some of those. And I love you all. We got the dub. Ended the roadie on a positive, and we will talk on Monday. Peace out.